In the world of income ETFs, the data is constantly changing. So as part of a new weekly series on Fridays, I'm going to be running through the Insights tab on YieldCanary, and we're going to look at some data from the week that was. So we're going to jump into the Insights tab right now. And if this is your first time seeing this, the Insights tab is 11 curated lists that you will see here that basically just query the data and put it into a nice format that you can see at a glance. So starting off with the highest yielding ETFs with no NAV erosion, and we're just going to run through the top 5 or so of each one of these lists. But you can see CHPY from YieldMax is in the lead right now. By the way, this is healthy funds with 0 to 5% return of capital, plus anything that has the tax efficient badge. And we have a positive 1-year price return. And these are sorted on the true yield, true income yield. But so we have CHPY, number 1 on the list, true income yield, about 33%, up about 37% on the year. Then we have AAPW from Roundhill, true yield of around 30%, and it's up about 11% on the year. Next, we have ticker MFA, which I didn't know too much about. You can see the true yield 15%, and it's pretty flat on the 1-year price return. If you wanted to learn more about any of these ETFs, which is what I did on this one, you could click in to the ticker and it opens up what we call the ETF deep dive, and you could see some more information about the fund itself. Something I like to do is look at the dividends tab and come down here to see what the recent cash amount payouts have been. You can see it's been over the last couple of years slowly increasing its payout on the distribution. Next up, we have 2 NEOS funds, QQQI with a 13.76% true yield, up about 6% on the year, and IWMI from NEOS as well, pretty similar to QQQI, slightly better price return. So that's the highest yielding ETFs with no NAV erosion. You can see there are more of them here if you wanted to pause the video and take a look, and you could also click to expand and see 5 more funds, all very popular names like GPIQ, paying a 9.83% true yield. But let's move on to the best after-tax cash flows. So these are healthy funds sorted by take-home cash return on the 1 year. This one applies your personal tax rate that you can set in YieldCanary itself. I have it set to 25%. This is taking the 1-year price appreciation plus the after-tax distributions. So this is sort of like a total return, but we're looking at it from an after-tax perspective, and this is not reinvesting the dividends. So I guess it is a little bit different than total return. But if we look here, we have 2 Roundhill funds, ARMW, AMDW, with their respective take-home cash return numbers over here. Then we have SOXY from YieldMax. I'm not going to read every number, but you can see 87.56%. AMDY and CHPY is also on this list as well, with a take-home cash return of 65%. Moving on to the buy zone picks. So these are healthy funds with a true yield greater than 10%, but they are trading below their 90-day moving average, also sorted on true income yield. We could take a look at a couple here. ARMW trading 19.5% below its 90-day average with a true income yield of about 40%. TSMY 8.67% below its 90-day average with a true yield just above 39%. And CHPY's also on this list too. It's slightly below its 90-day moving average 6% below. And you could see all the other funds here. Eggs, one of my favorite tickers from Nest Yield, trading 8.23% below the 90-day average with a 17% true yield. Moving on to a fun one that I like to look at. This is the highest advertised yield funds. So the advertised yield is the most recent payout on an annualized basis, what you'll see on a lot of the issuers' websites. And leading the charge is SLVO with 136% advertised yield. You can see it compared to its true yield, which is stripping out the return of capital that we calculate. So this one's fun to look at because you could see the massive yields that are being advertised, like MRNY from YieldMax, 133% advertised yield, but that is the true yield of 0% is telling me that it's 100% return of capital. So none of that is actual real income being returned. This grayscale fund, ETCO, has been on this highest advertised yields list for quite some time. It was up at 126% last week, so it's come down slightly, but still a ridiculous number. Several more YieldMax funds. This one's interesting, HOOY. You can see the advertised yield at 115 and the true yield of about 74%. So that's a very high pair, especially on the true yield number there. Moving on from this, we have the best weekly and monthly pairs. You could see a lot of these are this. You're seeing the same tickers on some of these, the Roundhill, especially ARMW, AMDW. Then we have MUYY from Granite Shares, AMDY from YieldMax, and SPCI from Tuttle Capital rounds out the top 5 on the best weekly pairs. Coming down to the best monthly pairs, we have a fund from Amplify SLJY, true income yield 8.85%, as my mouse gets stuck moving here. Eggs is up here on the best monthly pairs with a true income yield of 17.39%. And my mouse is still stuck, but we will keep going on because this is live and unedited. XQQI from Neos with a true income yield very low, 1.10%. And QQQT from NASDAQ 100 target income ETF with a true income yield of 15.26%. All right, it turns out my mouse died on me there, so we are plugged back in. Coming down the list, we have 2 lists side by side here. Biggest improvements of the week, biggest deteriorations of the week. You could see the changes week over week. For example, NVDY from YieldMax, the return of capital improved 81% from last week, and the true income yield went up about 51.5% from last week. That's what these numbers are telling you. And on the biggest deteriorations of the week, GTOQ from Invesco, the return of capital worsened by 62.46%. True income yield went down 4.26% from last week. That's what these 2 lists are showing you. Then coming down here to the largest healthy funds by assets under management. These are gigantic players. You could see a lot of the Vanguard funds. VIG, for example, 128 billion assets under management, paying a 1.5% true income yield, very low expense ratio. Some of these funds are duplicated over here in a sense because here's VIG, for example. This one's sorted by expense ratio, so you can see 0.04% is the lowest on the list. You You could also see, I like this one from Roundhill, weak expense ratio 0.19, paying a true income yield of 3.59%. And the last list on the Insights tab is the yield traps to avoid. These are funds that have a severe risk status and a very low death clock. All of these 0.5 years. So this is showing the price return decreasing. Return of capital is extremely high. You can see all of these are paying a 100% return of capital because the true yield is 0%, and the distributions are probably falling apart as well if you were to go and take a look under the hood at each one of those funds. So that is the entire Insights tab. You can see the curated market snapshot on top here. Bitcoin dropping below 64,000, for example, today. So that's the Insights tab. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can grab a free 7-day trial of YieldCanary. You can check this stuff out on your own. We just got the portfolio tab set up. Messing around in here, you could add your holdings, do a lot of cool stuff, see a lot of estimated monthly income as well. So if you like this content, if you want to see more of this on Fridays, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if I hit on any of your favorite funds, and we'll see you in the next video.